Yo, what's good everyone? Cerydra's kit details were just revealed, so we're going to look at her today and High Sullens tomorrow. If you're interested in that one, sub to the channel. Cerydra's actually looking like a decent unit. A little niche, but useful for fine and pullers. She works with Archer, who we're all getting for free. And there's a big surprise package in there that I didn't expect. She even has a free-to-play event Litecoin in 3.5, which we'll look at in the Litecoin section. Before we get into the video, let's talk briefly about the sponsor, Lootbar. They sell in-game currency for all kinds of gachas, including Genshin Impact and Star Rail, and it's up to 25% cheaper than in-game. They even have a 10% off coupon for new users, so you can save even more. Personally, I find the in-game prices are a bit too much, but the Lootbar prices are a lot more reasonable. They've worked with other creators you might have heard of, like Duck TV, Riding Shotgun, and Save at Times, and have over 20,000 positive Trustpilot reviews. They're completely safe, but you can check their reputation on Google first if you want to. They are quite a well-known company, even outside of gacha. You only need your UID and the server, and your top-up will go through immediately. Check the link in the description to grab some discounts. Okay, so Cerydra is a Wind Harmony unit. TLDR of her entire kit is she chooses an ally with a skill which buffs their attack, she builds charge points up when they attack, at 6 charge points she gives them crit damage on their skill, and whenever they use their skill to attack an enemy, they'll immediately use it again without consuming a skill point. In more detail, her skill grants a status to one of your characters called Military Merit and gives herself 1 charge point. She can have 8 total. When she has 6, the Military Merit status you put on your chosen character upgrades to Nobility status. This does 3 things for the chosen character. It gets rid of crowd control debuffs, gives 72% crit damage when we deal damage with their skill, and triggers an effect called Coup de Man when we use their skill on an enemy. Coup de Man means a surprise attack or a sudden development. Very chessy. What it does here is it just copies and pastes your character's skill after they use it, so they're using it twice. Once it's been used, it consumes 6 charge points and reverts Nobility back to Military Merit. Her ult gains 2 charge points, deals AoE wind damage to all enemies, scaling off Cerydra's attack, and if no one on the field has Military Merit, she gives it to the character in position 1 in the team lineup. For her talent, the character with Military Merit gets an attack increase equal to 24% of Cerydra's attack, so you want to stack attack on her. When they use basic or skill, Cerydra gets 1 charge point. Charge can't be gained when Coup de Man is in effect. Her technique gains Military Merit and will transfer it to the active character. At the start of a battle, she'll use a skill on this character without using a skill point. Looking at bonus traces, the first gives 20 speed to herself and the character with Military Merit for 3 turns after using a skill. Cerydra will also generate 5 energy when the character with Military Merit uses the basic attack or skill. The second trace gives her 100% crit rate, and when the character with Military Merit uses their ult for the first time, Cerydra gets 1 charge point if she's not already at 8. Bear in mind, you can only use this once per battle. For the last trace, when Cerydra's attack is greater than 2000, for every extra 100 attacks, she gets 18% crit damage up to a maximum of 360%. Not too shabby. For stats, you want to aim for 4000 attacks so you can get the max crit damage from a trace. I recommend an attack orb, then you can go attack chest piece if it's going to help you hit that 4000. If you already have 4000, just go crit damage. I recommend speed boots so you can generate more skill points, as well as an energy rope. I've seen people cooking up 2-turn ult rotations where you run Cerydra on cogs. In Anaxa teams, that's going to be a lot of charge points given she gets 2 from her ult and then Anaxa's generating 4 every time he uses his skill with the Coup de Man. In terms of relics, for the 4-piece, I recommend Cerydra to give crit damage to your DPS, but you could go for a 2-piece, 2-piece, prioritizing attack or speed, whichever your build needs more of. As is often the case, you could even use 4-piece Eagle for the action advance, but she also benefits from the wind damage from the 2-piece given the fact her damage isn't negligible. For the planar ornament set, Lushaka gives us some energy and your DPS 12% attack. Penacony gives wind DPS's 10% damage, which is great for Anaxa. Broken Keel gives all allies 10% crit damage, which is a versatile option. You could go for Space Sealing Station too for 24% attack. As for teams, she has synergy with a good amount of DPSs. The surprise package was Anaxa. Most people thought she was designed for Finan, and she does benefit him, which we'll talk about in a minute. But with Anaxa already able to use his skill twice, Coup de Man means he can use it 4 times. Each of those 4 skill uses gives Cerydra a charge point and 5 energy. More energy means she can use her ult more often for 2 more charge points, which means she can generate 6 charge points quicker to let Anaxa get the extra skills again. Basically, it's just a strong synergy, and if you want a hyper carry an Axa teammate, I strongly recommend pulling Cerydra. Another skill spammer she synergizes with, that is a tongue twister, this time one we're all getting for free, is Archer. For those who don't know, when it's his turn, you can choose to either spam his skill over and over, or you can end his turn manually when you've had enough. He gives the team an extra 2 skill points, meaning you can get more uses of his skill, but Cerydra makes it so that you can spam it. The damage dealt by his skill increases by 100% after using it, and this stacks twice, so after the first 2 uses of his skill, you do want to spam it in the same turn. Cerydra enables that. Finan, the man of the moment, benefits a lot from Cerydra too. The speed from a trace means you can commit to attack boots on Finan and still move ahead of your Sunday or Bronya with some speed substats. All attacks in his ult form gives Cerydra a charge point, meaning more meatball attacks, which is a big win. Then there's the attack buff and the crit damage she gives him. You could even pair Cerydra with the Hurter. The second enhanced skill won't deal as much damage as the first, because the first skill resets interpretation, but it's still good damage. I do still think Tribby's better though, because you want to run the Hurter with another Erudition unit, and Tribby's better for dual DPS setups. I'm interested in seeing whether she'd work for Mighty. I don't know the full details of how his kit works, because I was never interested in pulling him, but if she helps him get more Godslayers off, I'd be interested in seeing some gameplay of that. I know some people are committed to DPS Linkshire, so if that's you, you'll be glad to hear you can run Linkshire, Sunday, Tribby and Cerydra. Cerydra dealing okay damage with her ult makes it less of a hyper carry team and more of a dual DPS team too. For light cones, his signature has the joint highest base attack for a Harmony light cone at 635. It also gives a 64% attack. Just a reminder, attack is good because every 100 attack past 2000 gives it 18% crit damage, and some of her attack is converted into attack for your chosen ally with a merit status. She also recovers a skill point after using her ultimate, and when she uses a skill on an ally, they get 54% increased damage for 3 turns. Robin's light cone matches the base attack, gains 1 stack every time an ally attacks, stacking up to 5 times. Each stack increases her energy regeneration rate by 3%, and when she uses her ult, she increases her attack by 48%, as well as all allies' damage by 24%, lasting for a turn. Sunday's light cone has a low base attack for a 5-star at 476, but she'll regenerate 6 energy after using a skill or ult on an ally, as well as giving the ally a stack for 3 turns. Each stack gives the ally 15% damage, which can stack up to 3 times, and she'll recover a skill point after every 2 instances of a skill or ult. Bronya's light cone has a 529 base attack, gives a 10% energy regeneration rate, and a 30% damage buff to the DPS for 1 turn after using a skill. You won't be regenerating a skill point though, given the fact her ult only targets an ally the 1 initial time. The event light cone has a 476 base attack, increases the wearer's attack by 32%, and after using a skill she gets 16% attack, stacking 3 times. Given the fact in some situations you're not going to be using a skill more than once every 3 turns, you're not always going to get all 3 stacks. Dance 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 is a good option as always for the action advance. Planetary Rendezvous is worth a mention too, giving 24% damage to wind DPSs in the team. Another Anaxa synergy. Now, is she worth pulling? She looks strong for skill damage dealers, but it's worth bearing in mind most of DPSs deal damage outside of her skills too. While she does a lot for skill damage, she doesn't currently do much for other damage types like basic attacks, ults or follow-up attacks. I'm going for Finan, so I'm going to pull her, and seeing as though she has such a strong synergy with Archer, I'm going to build him even though I wasn't originally planning to with me having Casterus. If you enjoyed this video, join my Discord and flex your pulls and builds and take it easy.